What's up guys, and welcome back to Software Knowledge Solutions, and today we're talking about Call of Duty Warzone 2 Season 5 and its latest release and its latest patch notes. Now ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to jump through a couple of steps that you can take to make your game run as perfect as possible. Doesn't matter if you're running a low tier, mid tier to a high end machine. I'm going to show you settings that you can use inside Windows and inside the game as well. You're going to need to watch this entire video to follow my steps to have a smooth gameplay experience. Don't jump through my video, don't jump straight to the COD settings inside the game. You're going to need to follow my guidelines. Please do so, and then please, for the love of fuck, leave a like, leave a comment down below, because it takes a lot of time and dedication to figure out what is the best settings for this game right now for the latest season. Alright ladies and gentlemen, so the first thing I highly recommend you go ahead and do is click on the start button over here and then go to settings and then come over here where it says Windows settings. You're going to come to gaming and make sure you're on the Xbox game bar and make sure you have this turned off and this unchecked over here, and then go to game mode. I highly recommend you to go ahead and switch game mode on for Season 5 and its latest patch notes. It actually increases FPS and overall smoothness of gameplay. Please go ahead and turn this on. It's very important that you have this on and not turned off. From here you're going to go graphics settings and you're going to come to this over here where it says hardware accelerated GPU scheduling and turn it off. Please go ahead and turn this off. It can actually give you stuttering by turning it on. From here, you're going to click on the home button and you're going to go to privacy and scroll all the way down to where you see it says background apps. Now, if you're a Windows 10 user like me, all you're going to need to do is turn this from on to off. If you're a Windows 11 user, you're going to have to individually turn these things off one by one if you are a Windows 11 user, but you are the one that installed Windows 11, not me. Now, if you're still on Windows 10 like me, all of these programs are going to run in the background, and you don't want these things to be on and running in the background because it can actually use VRAM usage, CPU usage, and RAM usage overall. So go ahead and turn this the fuck off. You really don't want these things to run in the background while you are playing your game, because it's actually going to decrease the performance of your game in general. There is a lot of things to this, and a lot of people don't understand why people turn this off, but trust me, go ahead and turn it off and you'll actually see a significantly increase in your game's performance. Not really much in FPS, but performance in general, you'll see an actual increase because these programs aren't running in the background anymore. From here, you're going to click on Home, and then from here, you're going to click on Apps, and you're going to go to Apps and Features. Now, over here, this is everything that you have installed on your machine. Now, I highly recommend that you go ahead and uninstall all the bullshit off your machine that you don't need, especially like single-player games that you don't play anymore, because you want your hard drive to be in the blue and not in the red. If you only have one drive, like a C drive, and all your games are on there, let's say it's an SSD or an M.2, or whatever the case might be, or you have multiple drives, please let that multiple drives be in the blue and not in the red. It can actually cause your machine to slow down if it's in the red. Please go ahead and make sure that you have over enough space on your machine. All of your single player games and bullshit you do not need, go ahead and uninstall them. Obviously, these things over here, you are not going to uninstall because your machine really needs these things. It's very important that you don't fucking touch this. Please go ahead and don't touch that. But single player games and apps that you don't fucking use, please go ahead and uninstall them, because it can actually slow down your machine by your machine being in the red on your drives. Alright, from here you're going to go to the home button, and then let's close out of this. Alright ladies and gentlemen, so the next step I highly recommend you go ahead and do is this over here, and it plays a very big role on Windows itself and your game getting black screen errors or just crashing to the desktop randomly, or just in general your game just closes for no reason at all. I highly recommend you go ahead and do this over here. You're going to come to the search button over here and type in CMD, and then right click on it and then say run an administrator, and then say yes to the command prompt and come inside here. You're going to type in SFC spacebar / scan now, just like this, and press enter. Now once you press enter, your machine is actually going to go and scan through every single drive that you have on your machine. It might be one drive, it might be multiple drives, it can be SSDs, hard drives, M.2s, whatever the case might be. What it will do is it will automatically fix corrupt files on your machine itself. Now it will fix everything that it can possibly fix, and what it will do is actually fix your game for you as well if your game has corrupt files in general. So I highly recommend this is a very important step for every single person to go ahead and do. If you are watching my video right now, go ahead and do this. It plays a very big role on your machine itself. This can actually fix other games as well, not just Call of Duty, but corrupt files and programs in general, so it can fix a lot of shit for your Windows. Doesn't matter if you're Windows 11 or Windows 10, please go ahead and do this. It's a very important step to go ahead and do. Please go ahead and do this. Alright, let's jump straight into the next step. Alright, so the next step I highly recommend you go ahead and do is, and this plays the most important role inside your Call of Duty itself, okay, is the config file. And we're going to need to go over this because a lot of people don't understand what you need to do inside here, and it plays a very, very, very important role inside your game, okay? So all you're going to need to do is open up your file explorer like this, and then go to Documents, and go to Call of Duty, go to Players, go to this file over here that says options3.conto2, right click on it, and open this up with any editing software like any notepad or anything like that, and you're going to scroll all the way down to where you see it says thread count for handling the job queue. Now right now at this very moment, as you can see, it says render a work account. I have mine at 8, okay? Now the reason why I have mine at 8 is because I have an 8 core 8 thread CPU and it's an Intel. Now something I want to point out is this: a lot of people don't understand this, and this is why I'm making this video today. A lot of people don't understand that there's a difference between Ryzen machines and Intel machines. So there's a difference between AMD CPUs or Ryzen CPUs and Intel CPUs. Now as you can see, I have 8 inside here. It's because I have an 8 core 8 thread CPU from Intel. Okay, now with Ryzen you need to halve your cores. That's how Ryzen and AMD CPUs work. With Intel, you need to put your total cores inside here. Now, this is just something I need to explain to everyone out there because a lot of people get this wrong and they might put the wrong number or figure inside here. Okay, so in general, if you have an Intel machine, it is your total cores that you put inside here. So let's say you have 8 cores, you put 8 here. Let's say you have 12 cores, then you put 12 here. Let's say you have 16 cores, and you put 16 inside here like this. Now let's say you have 24 cores from an Intel CPU. Now the highest, as you can see, can only go to 16. So if you have a 16 core or anything higher than that, then 16 will be the highest number that you're going to put inside here. Alright, now let's say you have a Ryzen machine. Now obviously with Ryzen, you're going to have to halve your cores inside here. So now let's say you have a 12 core CPU from Ryzen. You're going to need to put 6 inside here then, because that's half its cores for Ryzen CPUs. Let's say you have 10, then obviously you put 5. Whatever your total cores is of Ryzen, you're going to halve it. Now, for people out there that is running very low-end Ryzen CPUs that only has like, I don't know, 6 cores, then I don't recommend 3. You can try it. Go ahead, it's your own personal preference. Try 3. See if it works. If it does not work on a lower generation Ryzen CPU where you have 6 cores, then you can go with your total with Ryzen. But the higher the cores are with your Ryzen CPU, like 12 and higher, then please go ahead and halve it. So like I said, if you have any type of CPU from Ryzen that has a total core of 12 and higher, please go ahead and halve it. Okay? So obviously half your cores on Ryzen and your total cores on Intel. And like I said before, please understand this, that the total is 16 for Intel users. Okay? Intel users, the totals is 16. You cannot put 24 here if you have a 24 core CPU. Don't do that. Put 16 here. It's the highest count that it will actually work on. Please go ahead and do that. Now, something that a lot of people also do, and I'm just going to go over it, is this over here. A lot of people go ahead and change this to false. They type in false inside here, they just remove the true, and they put false inside here, and it actually, people are saying that it gives them more FPS. Now, I believe that's full on bullshit, and you shouldn't believe people that say that you should put that on false and it gives you more FPS, because it actually does fuck all in the game whatsoever. It doesn't do jack shit, and jack left town. So please, for the love of fuck, don't change this. Leave it to true. You do not want to change this at all. Okay? Don't change this. Don't change anything inside this config file that you don't fucking understand. If you're going to change something inside here and your game crashes and it doesn't want to launch or anything like that, I got a solution for you, and it's very easy to do. Now, once you have changed your thing to what it needs to be, mine will be 8 because I have an Intel CPU. It's a 9700K, so it's an 8 core, 8 thread, so I put my total cores inside here, which is 8. Okay? Yet again, like I said, total cores for Intel, half the cores for Ryzen. That's how it works, okay? From here, you're going to go to save once you're done doing this. And if you fucked up anything inside here from watching other people's videos and your game doesn't want to work anymore, there is a way to fix that. All you're going to need to do is close out of this and then go to the file itself, the options 3.cot22. If you fucked up anything inside here and you see your game runs even worse than what it did before, you're just going to right click on this and delete it, and make sure you delete it in your recycling bin as well. Then once you launch Call of Duty, it will make a brand new config file for you, and then you can go ahead and change the things that you should change, and don't touch the fucking things you shouldn't. Alright, let's jump straight into the next step. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, before I jump into the next step, is something very important I just want to point out is this. Call of Duty's developers don't give a fuck about you, me, or the Call of Duty community. All they care about is making money and grabbing money from the consumers for Call of Duty and consumers for, computer players and stuff like that. All they care about is making money off of us right now. They don't care about the fucking game being unoptimized, broken, or anything like that, and they're doing nothing about it. So this is why I dedicate myself to making videos for you guys to help you out as best I can. And I help everyone out there in the community. It doesn't matter if you have a low-end machine, medium-end machine, high-end machine, a fucking NASA machine that can launch nuclear missiles. I don't give a fuck. Whatever machine you are running, I'm here to help you as best I can. Now, something I just want to mention is this over here is my members. All of these people inside my YouTube that has become members on my channel, I appreciate every single one of you. You guys are fucking amazing. Supporting my YouTube channel really means a lot to me. It really fucking does. You guys are fucking awesome. All you're going to need to do if you want to become a member is click on the click membership button and become a member on my YouTube channel. It will really mean a lot to me. There's also a super thanks button on my video as you're watching it right now. It's a little heart. You can click on it and donate and leave a little comment that you want there. So saying thanks or whatever the case might be, you can donate to my channel and it would really mean a fuck ton to me. As I'm helping you, you are also then helping me. It really means a lot to me. Alright, let's jump straight into the next step. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, something that plays a very, very big role inside Call of Duty itself is this over here. I highly recommend you go ahead and download the latest graphics card drivers. As you can see, this is the new version right now. This is the latest version, and that's why I'm showing it to you guys. And I highly recommend you go ahead and click and download the 537.34. It is the latest graphics card drivers for Nvidia right now. If you're an AMD user, please go ahead and go look for the latest graphics card drivers. Now, I know, yes, there's a lot of people out there that would be like, yo, dude, when I roll back the drivers to an older version, my game actually performs better and stuff like that. And that's just a thing in Call of Duty. A lot of people are rolling back their drivers. Now, this is just something I want to point out. If you are not satisfied with the latest driver that has been released for Call of Duty, it's not really released for COD. It's released in general for all games, is the latest drivers for Nvidia and AMD, okay? But Call of Duty is very outdated. Like they can't keep up with Nvidia or AMD's GPU driver updates. So just in general, when you go ahead and download and install this driver, please go ahead and try it out. Be on the latest version. I'm always on the latest version when it comes to the driver updates for GPU drivers. I highly recommend you go ahead and do this. Please go ahead and do this because this is new right now. This is the latest version. Please go ahead and download it. For Nvidia users and AMD users, there will be a new GPU driver update. Please go ahead and download and install it. And please go ahead and use it. Try this one out. If it doesn't work for you, because a lot of people actually roll back their drivers to the older version and stuff like that, please go ahead and download the latest driver for your graphics card. If it's Nvidia graphics card or an AMD, please go ahead and download the latest version. There is a new one out right now for Nvidia and AMD. Please go ahead and download it. Alright, let's jump straight into the next step. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, so something that plays a very big role inside your game, and in fact in all your games that you're going to be playing, is this over here. Is Nvidia control panel. If you are an Nvidia user like me, right click on your desktop and open up Nvidia control panel. Once it's open like this, you're going to click on use the advanced 3D image settings and click on take me there. It's basically just going to take you to manage 3D settings, and it's going to take you inside here. Now, I've done multiple videos on why these things are off and why they are on and why they're on the settings that they are on right now. Now, I highly recommend all you're going to need to do is just copy my settings as is. You can just pause my video and copy everything as is. Please go ahead and copy them. I don't want to make this video too long, otherwise it's going to be like a way too long video. Copy everything I have inside here as is. Please go ahead and do so. Something I want to point out is this over here that a lot of people ask me questions about is low latency mode. This is something that I highly recommend you go ahead and change depending on your machine. If your machine only shows ultra over here, please go ahead and select ultra. Okay? If your machine only has on, then select on. Okay? Just do not have it at off. always on. If you have two options, I would recommend on. Leave it on and then go ahead and apply all of these settings inside here. Please go ahead and do so. From here, you're going to go to config, surround, and physics and come inside here. Now, obviously, this is what your GPU is handling as physics, like the graphics and stuff like that to all your games. I highly recommend you click on this and do not select auto select, do not select CPU, select your dedicated graphics card you're currently running, and then go to apply here at the bottom. From here, you're going to go to adjust desktop color settings and come inside here. Now, as you can see, I have multiple monitors. As you can see, this is my main screen. If you only have one screen, don't worry about it. Just be on your main screen that you play your game on, and you're going to come inside here. You're going to change your contrast to 65, your brightness, obviously at 50%, because you can change the brightness inside your games. You don't want to do it on your physical machine and inside your Nvidia control panel. You want to do it in your games. But this is a very important one. 65 on the contrast over here, gamma at 1.00, and then digital vibrance plays a very, very big role inside Call of Duty itself. Now, I go over this almost in every single video of mine because a lot of people come into my videos that are new, so this is why I go over them yet again, okay? Now, this is my sweet spot over here, is 95. Now, as you can see, if you're on this setting right now on your other screen or whatever the case might be, or on the same screen, and you pull this down all the way, you'll see that your screen goes black and white. Now, 50 is its default settings in general. You'll see that your windows looks washed out and stuff like that, and it kind of looks shit. I highly recommend just moving it up a little bit. If you have very bad eyesight, I recommend 65 to about 75 to about 80 should be the max that you go to if you have bad eyesight. If your eyes in general are bad and you wear glasses and stuff like that. If you don't have bad eyesight, I recommend 95 on this over here, and it is a sweet spot for this game and all games in general. You'll see that the color pops a lot more in all the games that you're going to be playing, not just Call of Duty. Alright, then all you're going to need to do is apply these settings over here. Alright, let's jump straight into the next step. Let me show you what you need to do next. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, as you can see, we are in the game right now, and welcome to Season 5, its latest updates and its latest patch notes and the latest broken-ass fucking bullshit updates that they've been releasing for Call of Duty. Now, as you can see, I'm doing about 130 FPS. I do normally about 150 to almost 160. I am using OBS to record right now, and I am also using Wallpaper Engine running in the background. Normally I do close it and stuff like that when I game, but I'm not about to game. I'm about to show you settings that you should be using, okay? Now, you will obviously do way more FPS than me because you are not recording and you aren't using Wallpaper Engine. Those are two things you shouldn't be using while you are playing the fucking game in anyways, because the game's already unoptimized, so don't fucking do stuff like that. I know if you were streaming and you're watching my video right now, yeah, it's quite a hassle because this game's quite fucked and everyone fucking knows it. Alright, something I want to point out is this over here, the display settings inside this game. Right now at this very moment, there is no difference between full screen borderless and then having the game at full screen exclusive. There's no FPS difference. There used to be an FPS difference by having the game at full screen exclusive. You'll do more FPS in the game. It will give you like 10 FPS more, or maybe even like 12, maybe even 15 by having the game at full screen exclusive over here, like this one over here. Then you can actually use this one over here. But right now at this very moment, I'm using full screen borderless because I have multiple screens. If you have multiple screens, go with full screen borderless. Then obviously these are your own personal preference over here. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, so this is the quality tab over here, and I'm going to show you some settings that I'm just going to show you what is the best right now to use for the latest season and the latest patch notes and all the updates that came out with the new GPU driver updates. Okay, now at this very moment, and still today, I'm still using the Intel upscaling with my GPU. Now, for a lot of people that's new to my video right now, I have a 9700K, an RTX 2060 OC, and 16 gigs of RAM. Every single component has been overclocked. My CPU, my GPU, and my RAM timings has been shortened, and XMP is enabled. Okay, so if you don't know what XMP is, just go read up what it does. It's basically by switching XMP on in your motherboard, in your BIOS, and then you can actually shorten the timings on your RAM. Anyways, I'm not going to get into that. That's a very long-ass depth video to do that. But let's go over the settings you should be using. Okay, right now at this very moment, I'm still using the Intel upscaling, and it makes the game look like a AAA title game. This is why I use this. Now, something that I found out is this over here. If you don't want to use the Intel upscaling and you don't like it and you don't prefer it, I would then recommend you go with this one over here, which is Nvidia image scaling. This, and then go to show more, go to ultra quality, and then this one's going to be your own personal preference. Mine's on 5, so you can copy mine if you want to, but yet again, it's your own personal preference. With Nvidia image scaling, there's not much difference between this one and this one. You actually get more FPS with this one, and the game looks exactly the same as the Intel upscaling. So for me right now, it's between these two for my specific machine. That one and this one. Okay, so the Intel I have at ultra quality, video image scaling I have over here at ultra quality as well, and then 5. Okay, this is for people out there that's running mid-tier to high-end to nicer fucking machines. Go ahead and use this upscaling. It makes the game look really, really good. But then you're gonna need to do this. This is for people out there, yet again, I'm gonna say it again, for people out there that has really decent enough machines to play this game. You're gonna go to this option over here and have this at full mic SMAA T2 times. Do not put this over here if you have a decent enough machine. This one over here, I highly recommend you put it at full mic SMAA T2 times because it's not going to give you jagged edges. This one will. So if you have a decent enough machine, use this one over here, the full mic. Alright? This at normal, your video memory scale at 90%, and then this one at normal, high, high, and high. Okay? Now as you can see here, this is obviously yet again a glitch. Since this whole game is a fucking glitch, there's no fucking option here, but I'll go over it. Don't worry. Okay, scroll back up. We're going to go to the upscalings and then sort you guys out. Okay, so if you are struggling with this and you're struggling with this, a lot of people do prefer Nvidia DLSS. If you do prefer Nvidia DLSS, I would recommend either quality or balance. Please don't use performance. Please don't use ultra performance because you're going to tear out your own fucking eyes. Please don't do that because you're going to want to bleach your own eyes when you see the quality of the fucking game in Nvidia DLSS on ultra performance. It's already bad as is on balance, so please don't fucking put it here. Please, for the love of fuck, don't use this option. Okay? Now, a lot of people don't use this and a lot of people do. This is why I'm going over every one of them. Now, this I always skip this option. The reason why I do that, because that option there, this one, that's fucking green right now, that says Nvidia DLAA, is absolute fucking dog shit. Alright, so we're going to skip over it. Cool. AMD FSR 1.0, I highly recommend this to people out there that has a very low end to a medium end machine and that's struggling with FPS in overall in the game. Go with AMD FSR 1.0 and have this either at quality, or if your machine can handle it and you're doing enough FPS, go with ultra quality. It looks even better. Okay, but I would recommend if you are struggling, you go with quality or balanced. Performance looks like absolute dog shit and it's going to feel like you want to throw your PC out your window. Don't do that. So either quality, ultra quality for a better experience in the game if your machine can handle it, or balanced. Okay, that's the settings you're going to be using. Then if you are using this AMD FSR, you're going to use this either on this if your machine can handle it. If it can't and you want to squeeze out more FPS and you don't care about the jagged edges, you go with SMAA T2 times, not full mic. You're going to go to normal yet again. Then this one, you're going to change to 75. You're going to type inside here 75 and press enter. Okay, now if you've got a really budget end gaming machine, you're going to change this to 50 and press enter. Okay, that's what you're going to change it to. Then, if you don't like AMD FSR 1.0, you can go to 2.1. I don't really recommend 2.1, but a lot of people's machines are different, so you can go ahead and use this as well, okay? Then, yet again, go with 50% over here, all right? Normal, high, high, and high. That's what you're going to use, all right? So let's go over the next one, which is going to be Fidelity FX Cache. Now, a lot of people still use Fidelity FX Cache, and a lot of people don't prefer it anymore. The reason why a lot of people don't prefer this one anymore in Season 5, because it gives you less FPS in general right now with Fidelity FX Cache than all the other upscalings that's inside here. Fidelity FX Cache gives you less FPS. But if it gives you more FPS with your specific machine, go ahead and use it. The strength is your own personal preference. I do then recommend having this at full mic SMAA T2 times, normal, and I do recommend pushing this up, yet again, to 75. Please go ahead and do that, or if your machine can handle it, go to 90 and press enter and have it at 90. Yet again, normal, high, and high, and high. Now let's go over the rest of the shit in this fucking game that annoys the living shit out of me. Okay, this one over here. As you can see, it's a glitch, so there is nothing in here. If you have nothing in here right now, don't even select it. Just skip over it, okay? If you have nothing in there, fucking leave it, all right? You don't even need to touch it. But if you have an option, you're going to go with short, okay? Particle quality at low, particle quality level at very low, bullet impacts on, damage layers is your own personal preference. You can put it on or off. It's your own personal preference. Shader quality at low, tessellation off, always off, leave it the fuck off, and done. On demand texture streaming, don't even fucking touch this option. We're not going to go over this because it's a bunch of fucking bullshit, alright? The game is already unoptimized, so don't fucking use this option, alright? Done. Cool. You're going to go to streaming quality and have this at low. Volumetric quality at low. This one over here, which is your physics quality, at low as well. Water quality is an option I always rant about, and my YouTube subscribers know about it, and they love the fact that I go on about these options over here. Because why the fuck is there settings about the quality of the fucking water? We do not want to care or see the water quality. The game is unoptimized, so who the fuck jumps into this game, lands in water, and be like, oh, this is so beautiful. Oh my god, just swimming and be like, this is amazing. We don't care about your fucking water quality. This option needs to be fucking removed. We don't care about this fucking option. And now, something I want to point out is this. Modern Warfare 3 is all about water. And it's gonna fucking irritate me even more. So yes, if you want to see me go rant on and be a fucking Chad about the option, that's gonna be a water quality. And I bet you there's gonna be so much more, like raindrop quality. Shit like that. Like, what the actual fuck, Activision? Why do you smoke crack and what are you guys on? Like, what the actual fuck? Leave this at default. Don't fucking change it. Default, okay? There's no physical fucking difference. And plus, on top of it all, if you want an better FPS experience, better gameplay experience, don't let your GPU be hogged by these fucking settings. Default and fucking done. Awesome. Now, shadow and lighting plays a very big role inside this game, and it takes a lot of FPS away in your game, and it just hogs FPS. So, shadow map resolution, very low. Screen space, shadows, low. Spot shadow quality, low. Spot cache on ultra. The reason why I have this on ultra is because in my Nvidia control panel settings, I have the cache at 100 gigabytes. You're going to put this at ultra inside here. If you copied my Nvidia control panel settings, make sure this is on ultra so it gives you less stuttering in the game. If this actually helped you, smash the motherfucking like button because it really means a lot to me. A lot of people don't even like the fucking video, but this helps them, but they don't click the like button. Clicking the like button is literally free. Subscribing to my channel is also free. Like, you're not gonna, your bank card's not just all of a sudden just gonna slip out your wallet and be like, fly to my house or some bullshit. Click the fucking button if this works for you. The like button, the subscribe button, the notification bell. Click it. It's so easy to do. Like, what the actual fuck? Anyways, if I help you, please, for the love of fuck, just smash the motherfucking like button. Anyways, particle lighting, low. Ambient occlusion, off, off, always off. You are not playing the single player fucking mode. Turn it the fuck off. You want multiplayer competitive settings, so this is what I'm giving you right now, alright? Screen space reflections, off. Static reflection quality, low. Weather grid volumes, for the love of fuck. For the love of fuck. Turn this the fuck off. You don't fucking need it. Nvidia Reflex low latency mode is now back in the quality tab and not in the mouse settings. I've had people comment in my videos saying, yo dude, the reason why it's in the mouse settings is because it helps with low latency mode. Is it gonna help your mouse with latency? No, it does the fuck not. Read on the right hand side what this actually fucking does. Because I've never seen an Nvidia mouse, by the way. Anyways, fuck, Jesus Christ. Listen here. Those people that leave comments saying like, the reason why this option is in the fucking mouse settings is because for your mouse. Listen, you bot. Okay? Listen. Listen. Nvidia Reflex low latency. And then open your eyes and read what the fuck this does. Okay? This is why this is back here. They actually realize that people are complaining and saying that this is a graphics option, not a fucking mouse setting. Alright, so leave this on plus boost. The reason why it's on plus boost, what it's going to do is it's going to make your CPU and your GPU run closer to each other and talk with each other quicker. If you have it on, it's going to do it slower. If you have it off, your machine's going to run like dog shit. Don't do that. A lot of people don't pair their CPU and GPU well enough together. So they get bottlenecking, like their CPU is too powerful or their GPU is too powerful. Alright? So if you have a machine like that, you go with on plus boost. That's what I'm doing currently, but my machine isn't being bottlenecked. Okay? It's a 9700K, it's an RTX 2060 and 16 gigs of RAM. I don't get bottlenecking, but I still use on plus boost. Depth of field, own personal preference. World motion blur, own personal preference. Weapon motion blur, own personal preference. But for the love of fuck, turn these things off if you're a competitive player. Alright, film grain is your own personal preference. Yet again, I've seen people change this up and down. I leave mine at 0.00. Alright, so now, I'm not going to apply these settings. The reason why I'm not going to do that is because I just changed it over here to Fidelity FX Cache. I don't use this. So I just go to View, and then I go to Discard. View tab is your own personal preference. Literally, this is your own personal preference. You can change this to mine if you want to. If you want to. Like, obviously, I want to change this to, obviously, the game. Obviously, that's what I want to do. This, I'll obviously put it at, like, least over here. This, I'll put at least as well. And then, yeah. That's about it. Cool. This is your own personal preference, okay? Or you can copy my settings as is. But yet again, this is your own personal preference. All right. Now, something I want to go over that's very important, and you're going to need to do these things. Trust me, you're going to need to do this, all right? Is this over here. You're going to go to interface over here and then come all the way down to the bottom. This is your own personal preference yet again, but skip the fucking introduction movie. Please, for the love of fuck, skip it. So turn it on so you don't see the game's Activision bullshit come up every time you launch this fucking game. Turn it the fuck on. All right, inverted flash is something you can take advantage of so your screen doesn't go completely white. It will go black. Okay? Turn it on. A lot of people don't take this little option here and use it. Please go ahead and fucking use it. It actually helps a lot in this game in general. Right? We're going to scroll all the way up. Now, for you to see what you're doing with your machine, you can just go with all on, and then you can see what you're doing with your machine here at the top. If you don't use MSI Afterburner, like me, then you can actually see your FPS. Then I would highly recommend putting this all on. Okay? Then from here, you're going to scroll all the way up to the bottom, right to the top, and you're going to come to this over here where it says color customization. Come here and then go to color filter, put this at filter 2, both 100%, 100%, and then come down to this. Team, make it the same color as your party. Please go ahead and do that. You can choose whatever color you want, but just make it the same color as your party. Your enemy, your own personal preference. I have mine at pink, magenta pink, because there is nothing really pink inside this game. Your enemies aren't really pink except Nicki Minaj now, which is like, I don't know why she's in here, but anyways, apply this and change it to your own personal setting. Now, the most important setting that you're going to need to do to apply these settings is this over here. You're going to come to the display setting like this, and you're going to come to eco mode and make sure this is not on minimal or full. Put this at off, because what it does is it's going to half your FPS inside the lobby in general for no fucking reason. I don't even know why eco mode is a fucking thing inside this game. Like, did Call of Duty start developing like a thing for, like, I don't know, eating vegetables every day? Like, I don't give a fuck. Like, just turn this off. Why is this on? Why is this even an option? Like, what the fuck? Call of Duty, like, is this going to help our environment? Like, what the fuck? Turn it off, alright? You're going to click on Restart Shader Optimization and click on Restart, and then restart your entire fucking game. It doesn't matter if you're playing it through Steam or Battle.net. Launch your game from overs, and then at the top left corner, it's going to say Installing Shaders. Let it finish all the way to 100%, and then let your game start playing. Then it will apply the settings you just changed to right now. Ladies and gentlemen, if this worked for you, leave a like, leave a comment, subscribe to the YouTube channel if you're new here, and as always, ladies and gentlemen, I'm just here to help the Call of Duty community as best I can. I know I rant and rave, but yes, we all know that this game is making us all fucking mad in our heads. That's about it. As always, hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope it helped you, and peace.